Did you know that nearly all deaths occurring after the age of 75 can be traced back to just a few specific causes? While many believe that dying in old age is simply part of the natural cycle, the reality is that most of these deaths result from preventable factors, hazards that are often disregarded until the damage is already done. By the time people begin to notice something is wrong, their health has often declined significantly, leaving them with fewer options. However, by becoming aware of these risks early, you can take meaningful action to protect your well-being and potentially add years, maybe even decades to your life. Today, we are going to reveal the 5 primary causes of death for individuals over 75. These are the main culprits behind the vast majority of fatalities in this age bracket. Some may sound familiar, while others might catch you off guard. Either way, understanding them is the crucial first step to reducing their impact. These aren't just numbers or dry statistics. They reflect real people, families, and decisions that can make the difference between a life burdened by illness or one filled with strength and vitality. Stay with us, because of what you choose to do today could shape your ability to remain active, independent, and healthy in the future. In today's video, we are diving deep into the connection between specific health risks and longevity after the age of 75. I will guide you through the 5 key factors that are major contributors to mortality in later years. By understanding these issues, you will be empowered to make proactive choices that protect your health. If you are ready to learn how small, positive changes can lead to a longer and healthier life, keep watching. Let's begin with the first major factor: heart disease. Heart disease remains the #1 cause of death among those over 70, yet many are unaware of the influence they have over it. The heart is a muscle that thrives when cared for and deteriorates with neglect. The danger lies in the fact that symptoms often remain silent until it's too late. Many people chalk up fatigue, shortness of breath, or a slowing down as just part of getting older. However, these can actually be warning signs that the heart is weakening. A major contributor to heart disease is high blood pressure. Over time, elevated pressure puts extreme strain on your arteries and forces your heart to work harder than necessary. High blood pressure usually doesn't cause noticeable symptoms, no pain or discomfort, until something serious, like a heart attack or stroke, occurs, which is why so many seniors end up in the emergency room, blindsided by a rapid decline in health. Another major factor is an unhealthy diet. Years of consuming processed foods, excessive salt, and harmful fats quietly damage the body, clogging arteries and restricting blood flow. But it's not just about cutting out the bad stuff. It's just as important to include nourishing, heart-supportive foods. Your heart needs the right nutrients to stay resilient. And if your diet falls short, deterioration happens more rapidly than you'd think. Lack of physical activity is also a huge player. The heart isn't designed to be idle all day. Whether it's daily walks, light stretches, or even chair exercises, regular movement can do wonders for your cardiovascular health. One of the most damaging beliefs is that heart disease is merely a matter of fate, that it's genetic or simply tied to aging. The truth is that everyday habits, what you eat, how you move, and how you handle stress, play a major role in your heart's future. Remember, you hold more control over your heart health than you might think, and the decisions you make now could determine whether your heart remains strong in the years ahead. The best time to start making changes is right now. Next, let's talk about falls and injuries. Falls and injuries are among the most dangerous and underestimated threats for the elderly, not a disease but falling itself. It can happen in an instant. One wrong step, a sudden dizzy spell, or a slick floor can lead to life-altering consequences. A fall might result in a broken hip, head trauma, or even a seemingly minor injury that escalates quickly into something far more serious. What is truly alarming is how unprepared most people are for this risk. Many don't realize just how fragile the body can become until they have already suffered a fall. Falls rank among the top causes of fatal injuries in older adults, sending millions to the emergency room each year. And for many, that fall marks the beginning of a permanent decline. A fractured hip can lead to months of immobility, loss of independence, and a greater risk of infections and complications. Although falls are incredibly common, most people don't take them seriously until they or someone close to them suffers. The challenge is that as we grow older, our balance, muscle strength, and reaction time gradually diminish, often unnoticed until a stumble occurs. One day you may feel perfectly stable while performing your usual daily tasks, only to have your footing slip unexpectedly and gravity do the rest. Unfortunately, the body's ability to bounce back just isn't what it used to be. What once would have been a harmless stumble can now result in a serious, sometimes life-threatening injury. There is another hidden danger. The fear of falling often leads to more falls. After experiencing a near miss or a minor fall, many older adults become hesitant, start moving less, avoid stairs, skip walks, and limit their activities out of fear. But here's the catch. Less movement means weaker muscles, and weaker muscles increase the risk of falling, creating a destructive loop that can quietly take away your independence. The encouraging news is that falls don't have to be inevitable. There are straightforward yet highly effective strategies to lower your risk, such as strengthening your legs and core, improving your balance, and making smart changes to your home. Better lighting, securing loose rugs, and installing sturdy handrails can make a huge difference. Also, consider that some medications may cause dizziness, drowsiness, or affect blood pressure, further increasing the risk of falling. If you've ever stood up quickly and felt faint, that might be your body sending you a signal to adjust your medication. Speaking with your doctor to ensure your medications aren't affecting your balance or alertness could quite literally save your life. Avoiding falls is not just about dodging obstacles. It's about staying physically strong, mentally alert, and aware that even small issues can have big impacts. After 75, one fall can change everything, but the right actions today can lead to years of continued mobility, freedom, and a much better quality of life. Now let's continue with respiratory diseases. Breathing is something we rarely think about until it becomes difficult. As we age, the lungs gradually lose some of their efficiency, and even minor breathing issues can escalate quickly. A simple cough or occasional shortness of breath might seem harmless at first, but it could be the beginning of something far more serious. Among those over 75, respiratory illnesses are a leading cause of death, not because they're inevitable, but because they are often ignored until they become dangerous. One major concern is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, which includes conditions like emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Over time, the airways become inflamed and narrowed, making it harder and harder to breathe. Many older adults dismiss chronic coughing, wheezing, or breathlessness as just part of aging. But in truth, these are signs that the lungs are struggling. Then there's pneumonia. Though it might start as a cold or mild chest congestion, pneumonia can quickly evolve into a life-threatening condition, especially because the immune system weakens with age. Environmental factors also play a role. Years of exposure to pollutants such as dust, smoke, and chemicals can silently damage the lungs. And even within your home, irritants like mold, pet dander, or poor ventilation can worsen breathing issues. Making simple environmental changes, such as using air purifiers, ensuring good airflow, and avoiding secondhand smoke, can significantly improve lung health. One of the easiest yet most effective ways to support your lungs is to stay active. Movement helps your lungs expand fully, clears out mucus, and keeps your respiratory system functioning optimally. However, when we sit too much, lung function declines and the risk of infections rises. Do not overlook the importance of vaccinations either. Vaccines against the flu, pneumonia, and other respiratory infections protect you from complications that could otherwise be life-threatening. Next, let's discuss stroke. A stroke, strikes suddenly with no warning and no time to prepare, it can change your entire life in an instant. It is one of the most common causes of death after age 75, yet many people are unaware of just how many stroke-related risk factors are within their control. The scariest part is that a stroke rarely gives you a second chance. Once it hits, the damage is often permanent. What might surprise you is that up to 8% of strokes are preventable. Your daily choices now can determine whether you remain independent or face a life-altering health crisis. A stroke occurs when blood flow to the brain is suddenly blocked or when a blood vessel in the brain ruptures, causing brain cells to die within minutes. Some strokes cause only mild symptoms like temporary confusion or weakness, while others lead to paralysis, speech loss, or complete dependency. In many tragic cases, the stroke proves fatal. One of the most common and dangerous contributors to stroke is high blood pressure, which over time damages the arteries and increases the risk of a blockage or rupture. High blood pressure often goes unnoticed until it is too late, and another cause is irregular heart rhythms, such as atrial fibrillation, which many seniors experience unknowingly. When the heart doesn't beat regularly, blood can pool and form clots that may travel to the brain, causing a stroke in seconds. The good news is that a routine checkup can detect these conditions, and with treatment options available, the risk can be drastically lowered. Diet and lifestyle also play a huge role. Diets high in processed foods, salt, and unhealthy fats contribute to clogged arteries and poor circulation, while physical inactivity allows blood to thicken and stagnate. Simple changes like adding more leafy greens, reducing sodium intake, and increasing water consumption can have a major impact. Additionally, one crucial yet often ignored warning sign of a future stroke is a mini stroke or transient ischemic attack, which may cause sudden confusion, blurred vision, or difficulty speaking. Even if these symptoms vanish quickly, they should never be brushed aside. Seeking medical help immediately can be the difference between preventing a major stroke and facing lifelong consequences. Remember, monitoring your blood pressure, following a heart-friendly diet, staying physically active, and being alert to the early warning signs can help you maintain your independence and avoid the devastating effects of a stroke. Finally, let's explore cognitive decline and its consequences. One of the most painful realities of aging is the gradual loss of memory, judgment, and independence. Cognitive decline doesn't strike overnight. It creeps in slowly, beginning with subtle changes that are often easy to dismiss. But over time, those minor memory slips can grow into serious difficulties. Tasks that were once second nature, like managing finances, recognizing familiar faces, or making sound decisions, can become overwhelming. For many, this shift is not just inconvenient, it can become dangerous. Conditions such as Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia don't merely affect the brain, they impact the entire body. As mental abilities diminish, the ability to care for oneself also deteriorates, making it difficult to remember to take medications, eat balanced meals, or even notice when something feels off. Dehydration becomes common as some forget to drink enough water, and others may overeat or undereat, leading to malnutrition or weight issues. These challenges open the door to even more health problems. Moreover, cognitive decline can lead to accidental injuries, forgetting to turn off the stove, leaving the door unlocked, or wandering into unsafe areas. Such risks increase as mental sharpness decreases, often leading to the heartbreaking loss of independence, as many seniors eventually cannot live alone safely without adequate care. What makes cognitive decline even more alarming is that early symptoms, like forgetting names, frequently misplacing items, or struggling to follow conversations, are often written off as normal aging, when in fact they are warning signs that the brain is changing. Taking action early by engaging in regular mental exercises, staying socially active, and exercising physically can help slow the progression. A healthy diet rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, And essential vitamins also plays a major role in preserving brain function. These proactive steps not only help maintain mental clarity, but also protect overall well-being. By understanding these 5 critical factors, heart disease, falls, respiratory illnesses, stroke, and cognitive decline, you now have insight into the overwhelming majority of deaths occurring after 75. The key takeaway is that these outcomes are not unavoidable. Most people do not realize how much control they have over their health until it's too late. Small, consistent habits implemented today can lead to years of increased strength, clarity, and independence. None of us likes to think about aging, but ignoring the risks doesn't protect us from them. What truly protects us is awareness, knowing the signs, taking preventive steps, and prioritizing our health allows us to face the future with confidence rather than fear. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, start focusing on what you can do to live longer, stronger, and happier. Consider your current lifestyle. Are there small changes you can make? Perhaps it's adding more fresh foods to your diet, moving a little each day, scheduling a checkup, or spending more time connecting with others. You don't have to overhaul your entire life all at once. Just one small step in the right direction is enough to begin the journey toward better health. At this stage in life, your well-being is your greatest asset. The more you care for it, the more time, joy, and freedom you can enjoy. Protecting your health now means you can continue creating beautiful memories, staying independent, and living life without the fear of preventable illness. Every day is a fresh opportunity to choose yourself, and the decisions you make today will shape your strength, energy, and happiness in the years to come. Remember, our health tells a story as unique and sacred as our own journey. Every choice we make, every step toward better care and mindful living creates a tapestry of strength, joy, and resilience. When you nurture your body and mind, you not only honor yourself, but also light the way for those around you. Thank you for sharing this reflective moment with us. If this video has touched you in any way, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing the insight you gained and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your support is a beacon that inspires our community to keep growing and thriving. Until we meet again, cherish every moment and live each day with purpose and gratitude.